The moment I found out my daughter is dating my friend. Awkward. Let me share something personal that's been on my mind for a while. It's one of those situations where, at first glance, everything seems perfect. But when you dig deeper, it starts to get complicated. I guess I'm looking for some advice or maybe just a place to vent because as much as I'm happy with how things turned out, it's been messing with my head in ways I didn't expect. So here's the backstory. I work with this guy, Albert, not his real name, but let's call him that. I'm 52 and Albert is 34. We've been working together for a long time, and honestly, he's more than just a coworker. I'd even say he's more than a friend. We're both in high-level leadership roles at the company. Think of us as co-CEOs of a big business. Albert was one of those rare prodigies who seemed destined for greatness from a young age. I first met him when he was in his early 20s, and I immediately took him under my wing. At the time, he was this young, ambitious guy, full of potential, and I wanted to mentor him, help him grow. But here's the thing, he surpassed me pretty quickly. By the time he was 22, we were working side by side as equals. And I was genuinely proud of that. Albert's not just someone I work with. He's someone I trust with everything. I care about him like a son, though because of our work dynamic, we've always been more like close friends than anything else. For about 10 years now, we've had this routine where we meet every Thursday night for drinks. We talk about work, life, and whatever else is going on. Those nights have always been a highlight of my week. I look at him and feel proud, like I've played a part in shaping the man he's become. Now here's where things start to get tricky. I also have a daughter. She's 22 now, 12 years younger than Albert. When she was about 12, she went off to study abroad, and she was gone for nearly a decade. Her studies kept her out of the country during the same period that Albert and I were building our careers and becoming so close. So for all those years, she and Albert never met. A couple of years ago, after she finished her studies, she moved back home. My daughter, let's call her Emma, is everything a father could hope for. She's intelligent, charming, and if I do say so myself, stunningly beautiful. She's also ambitious, and she decided to enter the same industry that Albert and I work in. Naturally, I introduced them. From the moment they met, it was clear they clicked. They hit it off immediately and became great friends. At first, I was thrilled about it. I thought, wow, wouldn't it be great if they became something more than friends? And to be honest, I was the biggest cheerleader for that possibility. Albert is someone I trust completely. He's always been respectful toward women. In all the years I've known him, I've never seen him act in a way that would make me question his character. He treats everyone with the same level of kindness and respect, whether it's his mother, a colleague, or even a waitress. He's just one of those genuinely good people. So when I noticed that my daughter was showing interest in him, I didn't hesitate to encourage it. Emma was the one who initiated most of the flirting, and I could tell she was serious about pursuing a relationship with him. I knew some people might have concerns about the age gap, but I wasn't worried. I knew Albert was the kind of guy I'd trust with my life, and that included trusting him with my daughter. Over the years, I've seen how he treated his previous girlfriends, and I never saw any red flags. In fact, I've always thought he'd make a fantastic partner for anyone lucky enough to be with him. Well, things progressed, and eventually Albert and Emma started dating. It was like a dream come true for me at first. They were perfect together. He adored her, and she was clearly head over heels for him. They moved in together, and now they're even talking about getting married in the near future. On paper, it's everything I wanted. My daughter is with a man I deeply respect and admire, someone I trust more than anyone else. He's proven time and time again that he's good to her. He's patient, kind, and he helps her in ways that I can't always manage. For instance, Emma can be a little reckless sometimes, especially when it comes to her own safety. Albert is always there, making sure she's okay and stepping in when needed. He brings out the best in her, and any father would be thrilled to see his daughter in such good hands. But here's the part I didn't see coming. As much as I love Albert and as happy as I am for them, it's weird. It's uncomfortable in ways I never expected. I'm friends with this guy who's now dating my daughter. And not just dating, they're living together. And yes, they're sleeping together. I mean, I'm not naive. I know they're adults, and I wanted this. But there's just something unsettling about knowing that this guy, who I've shared so much of my life with, is now so intimately involved with my daughter. It's the little things that get to me. Sometimes when we're hanging out, Albert will casually mention something Emma did that morning, or he'll talk about plans they have later that night. In those moments, I can't help but feel this weird, uncomfortable reminder that the guy I've been friends with for over a decade is now in a relationship with my daughter. And it's not like there's anything wrong with their relationship. In fact, it's almost too perfect. They're respectful, caring, and happy. But knowing so much about his past, about his romantic history, the things we've talked about over the years as friends, it just makes certain aspects of their relationship hard for me to deal with. I'm not sure if it's just the fact that I know him so well or if it's something deeper. Maybe it's because as a father, there's always going to be this protective instinct that makes it hard to fully accept anyone being that close to your daughter, even if it's someone you trust completely. So here I am in this situation where I should be happy, and I am for the most part. But I can't shake the weirdness of it all. I know this is my life now and it's not going to change. I just don't know how to get past this awkward feeling. If anyone's been through something similar, or if you have any advice on how to navigate this, I'd really appreciate it. TLDR. My daughter is dating my best friend, and while I was all for it at first, now that it's happening, I'm struggling with how weird it feels to be friends with the guy who's sleeping with my daughter.